Another day, another story. Get the facts on the mysterious medieval order known as the Knights Templar, which was dissolved 700 years ago but has recently made news headlines. The history of the Knights Templar is a fascinating tale of military prowess, religious fervor, financial power, and eventual downfall. Here's a comprehensive overview of their story. Welcome to Taboo Eminent Channel. 1. Formation and early years, 1119-1139. The Knights Templar, formerly known as the Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, were founded in the aftermath of the First Crusade, 1096-1099. The order was established in 1119 by a group of knights led by Hugues de Payens and Geoffrey de Saint-Omer. The order's main purpose was to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land and to support the Kingdom of Jerusalem. 2. Papal recognition and expansion, 1139-1291. In 1139, the Knights Templar received official recognition from Pope Innocent II, which granted them certain privileges and exemptions from local authorities. The order quickly gained wealth and influence, thanks to generous donations of land, money, and other resources from nobles and monarchs. They established a network of commanderies, fortifications, and churches throughout the Holy Land and Europe. 3. Financial power and influence, 12th–13th centuries. The Templars developed an innovative financial system, including the concept of issuing letters of credit that could be exchanged across different locations, acting as a medieval banking system. Pilgrims could deposit their wealth in one location and receive a letter of credit to withdraw it in another. This financial acumen greatly increased the Templars' wealth and influence. 4. Decline and loss of Holy Land, 13th century. As the Crusader states in the Holy Land faced mounting pressure from Muslim forces, the Templars lost several key strongholds. The decisive defeat of the Christian forces in the Battle of Hattin, 1187, and the subsequent fall of Jerusalem to Saladin, 1187, marked a turning point. The Templars were forced to retreat, losing much of their original purpose. 5. Persecution and arrests, early 14th century. The order's wealth and power began to arouse suspicion and jealousy among secular rulers and the Church. King Philip IV of France, heavily indebted to the Templars, conspired with Pope Clement V to suppress the order. On Friday, October 13, 1307, many Templars were arrested throughout France, and they were accused of heresy, blasphemy, and other crimes. 6. Trial and dissolution, 1307-1312. The arrested Templars were subjected to harsh interrogations and torture, leading to confessions of heresy and other offenses. In 1312, Pope Clement V, under pressure from King Philip IV and fearing a schism, officially dissolved the order by issuing the papal bull, Vox in Excelso. The Templar properties and wealth were seized by the state and the Church. 7. Legacy and mythology. After the dissolution of the Templar order, a mix of rumors, myths, and legends began to circulate. Some believed the Templars possessed hidden treasures or secret knowledge. These myths have inspired countless books, movies, and conspiracy theories throughout history. 8. Modern perspective. In modern times, historical research has shed light on the true nature of the Templar order, dispelling many of the myths. The Templars' legacy endures in various ways, including their architectural contributions, such as the Temple Church in London, their influence on later military orders, and their impact on modern ideas about chivalry and secret societies. The history of the Knights Templar is complex and multifaceted, reflecting the broader medieval landscape of religious fervor, military conflict, and political intrigue. 9. Origins of the Knights Templar. After Christian fighters captured Jerusalem during the First Crusade, groups of pilgrims from across Western Europe began visiting the Holy Land. Many were killed while crossing through Muslim-controlled territory during their journey. Around 1118, a French knight named Hugues de Payens founded a military order along with 8 relatives and acquaintances, calling it the Poor Knights of the Temple of King Solomon, later known as the Knights Templar. With the support of Baldwin II, the King of Jerusalem, they set up headquarters on the sacred Temple Mount and pledged to protect Christian visitors to the city. After facing initial criticism by religious leaders, in 1129 the Knights received the formal endorsement of the Catholic Church and support from Bernard of Clairvaux, a prominent abbot. New recruits and lavish donations began pouring in from across Europe. Though the Templars themselves took vows of poverty, the order could accrue wealth and land. It was also around this time that the Knights adopted an austere code of conduct and their signature style of dress: white habits emblazoned with a red cross. 10. The Knights Templar branch out. Now numbering in the thousands, the Templars established new chapters throughout Western Europe. They developed a reputation as fierce warriors during key battles of the Crusades, driven by religious fervor and forbidden from retreating unless vastly outnumbered. They also set up a network of banks that enabled religious pilgrims to deposit assets in their home countries and withdraw funds in the Holy Land. Along with their donated fortune and various business ventures, this system gave the Knights Templar enormous financial sway. At the height of their influence, they boasted a sizable fleet of ships, owned the island of Cyprus and served as a primary lender to European monarchs and nobles. 11. Decline of the Knights Templar. In the late 12th century, Muslim soldiers retook Jerusalem and turned the tide of the Crusades, forcing the Knights Templar to relocate several times. In the decades that followed, European support of military campaigns in the Holy Land began to dwindle. The Templars' popularity met the same fate as they clashed with other Christian military orders and participated in a series of unsuccessful battles. By 1303, the Knights had lost their foothold in the Muslim world and established a base of operations in Paris. Meanwhile, the French King Philip IV resolved to bring down the order, perhaps because the Templars had denied the indebted ruler additional loans and expressed interest in forming their own state in southeastern France. On October 13, 1307, scores of French Templars were arrested along with the order's Grand Master, Jacques de Molay. Charged with a host of offenses ranging from heresy, devil worship and spitting on the cross to homosexuality, fraud and financial corruption, the men were brutally tortured. Many, including de Molay, confessed under duress. King Philip then convinced Pope Clement V, who had raised concerns about the Knights' secret initiation rites and practices in the past, to launch his own inquiry. In 1310, dozens of Templars were burned at the stake in Paris for recanting their earlier confessions during their trials. De Molay would suffer the same punishment in 1314. Under pressure from Philip, Pope Clement reluctantly dissolved the Knights Templar in 1312. 12. The Knights Templar today. While most historians agree that the Knights Templar fully disbanded 700 years ago, some people believe the order went underground and remains in existence to this day. In the 18th century, certain organizations, most notably the Freemasons, revived some of the medieval knight symbols and traditions. More recently, stories about the legendary Templars, that they dug up the Holy Grail while occupying the Temple Mount, for instance, or harbored a secret capable of destroying the Catholic Church, have found their way into popular books and films. And in the last week, the group has been back in the news. A right-wing extremist who carried out terrorist attacks in Norway maintained that he belonged to a group called the Knights Templar, while a Mexican drug cartel has also appropriated the order's name. 13. Crusader battles and strongholds. A. Elaborate on significant battles the Templars participated in, such as the Siege of Ascalon, 1153, or the Siege of Acre, 1189-1191, showcasing their military prowess. B. Explore their strategic fortresses, like the Krak des Chevaliers in Syria, and how these strongholds played a role in their mission to protect pilgrims and maintain control in the Holy Land. 14. Templar Code and Lifestyle. A. Discuss the Templar Code of Conduct and the rigorous training that initiates underwent, emphasizing their dedication to chivalry, discipline, and religious devotion. B. Explore the daily life of a Templar Knight, including their roles within the order, responsibilities, and spiritual practices. 15. Architectural and cultural impact. A. Highlight the architectural achievements of the Templars, focusing on the construction of churches, castles, and other structures that showcase their unique blend of Western and Eastern influences. B. Discuss the exchange of knowledge and ideas between the Templars and local cultures, leading to cultural diffusion and enrichment. 16. Templars and finance. A. Detail the Templars' financial innovations, like issuing promissory notes and facilitating long-distance transactions, and how this contributed to their influence and wealth. B. Examine the reasons behind their financial success, including their wide-ranging connections and reputation for reliability. 17. Downfall and persecution. A. Explore the political motivations behind King Philip IV of France's efforts to eliminate the Templars, including their refusal to provide him with financial assistance. B. Describe the brutal methods of interrogation and torture used during the trials, shedding light on the coercive tactics that led to confessions. 18. The myth of hidden treasures. A. Delve into the myths and legends surrounding the Templars' alleged hidden treasures, discussing the possible origins of these stories and their impact on popular culture. B. Explain how these myths have persisted over the centuries and led to various conspiracy theories. 19. Templars in popular culture. A. Highlight the Templars' enduring presence in literature, movies, and video games, showcasing how they've captured the imagination of people worldwide. B. Discuss the accurate and inaccurate portrayals of the Templars in modern media, and how these representations influence public perception. 20. Legacy and modern organizations. A. Explore how the Templar legacy influenced the development of other military orders and secret societies. B. Discuss modern organizations, such as the various groups that claim a connection to the historical Templars, and how they interpret and extend the order's traditions. These additional story angles can provide a deeper understanding of the Knights Templars' history, showcasing their impact on various aspects of medieval society, culture, and modern imagination. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.